And you're looking live at Madrid's airport. An Air Canada plane has just made an emergency landing after circling for hours because of mechanical issues. One of the plane's tires ruptured during takeoff, and then it suffered an engine problem. The plane was bound for Toronto with 128 passengers on board. We're hearing that mechanics are just having a look at the plane, but right now they're just trying to figure out the best way to disembark the passengers. A number of emergency vehicles have arrived at the aircraft, but there doesn't appear to be any fire or any danger to those passengers. But it spent about more than 3 hours in the air circling Madrid and did make a safe landing minutes ago at Madrid's International Airport. So for more now, I want to bring in Ross Amer. He's a former captain for United Airlines and currently the chief executive of Aero Consulting Experts. So Ross has had to land a passenger jet himself after losing a tire. So Ross, what sort of training to commercial pilots do they have for a case like this, missing a tire and one engine lost?
Good afternoon, Andrew. Good to talk to you again. As I mentioned earlier when your producer called, this will be a routine landing. These fellows are trained, obviously, very well. They did everything correctly. And the 767 has 10 main landing gear tires. They have plenty left. Occasionally, when a tire bursts, in this case, probably some debris from the burst tire got into the engine, and obviously they shut it down correctly, did everything by the book. They did not hurry. The airplane can fly on one engine perfectly for a while, and the result, as you said, is a very safe landing with no one injured.
And so tell me a little bit about that. That was about more than 3 hours where they were in the air. What would that be like in terms of the stress in that situation?
Well, again, I go back to a good training. I don't think there was much of a stress in that cockpit. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping that they communicated with the passengers, assured them that everything was okay. Unlike a recent Delta Airlines that dumped fuel all over LAX right after takeoff, these fellows did not hurry because, unless if your aircraft is on fire or you're running out of fuel, there's no hurry. Most crews sometimes make that mistake to hurry and come back and land. Whereas with this flight, they properly went in and held for a while in an area which is probably dictated by the air traffic control in a safe area where they could dump fuel if it needed. But I assume with flying around for about 3 or close to 4 hours, they were light enough to come back and land safely. Fortunately for them, the weather in Madrid was fairly good today. And they also have the use of 2 major airports at their disposal. There's the Barajas Airport, which has a 14,000-foot runway, and also a nearby Tarrajon Air Force Base with 15,000 foot of runway. That's plenty of long runways. And so I'm very happy that they made the correct decision. They did everything by the book, and the result was successful. Mm-hmm.
And they were just, for our viewers, we keep showing them the visuals of this plane as it approaches, as it lands, and then the emergency vehicles approaching it. The plane has come to a full stop, and right now, from what we're hearing, they're just trying to figure out the best way to disembark passengers. What would that be? Well, how do you think these passengers probably want to get off that plane? What do you think would be the best way to disembark passengers right now?
Since there are no, you were telling me, I'm on the phone, obviously. Yeah. I don't see the visual. Obviously, there were no fires or any other problems. Therefore, they can easily instead of coming down to chutes where there's always possibility of injuries. I presume they could have stairs put next to the aircraft and disembark the passengers in an orderly manner.
Is it unusual, these kind of technical problems? So the plane has a punctured tire after takeoff, and then one of the engines damaged, as you say, maybe from the debris from the tire. Is that an unusual technical problem?
It is unusual. These days, the aircraft tires are very reliable. Airplanes themselves are extremely reliable. 767 is a great aircraft in terms of safety. So it was, like I said, everything was done by the textbook. So even a tire failure that could have happened for a variety of reasons was not a dangerous situation.
We appreciate you taking the time, Ross. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Andrew.
Retired United Airlines Captain Ross Amer joining us from San Clemente, California.